Collective, this is a more delicate energy. This is not a loud reading. This is not a chaotic reading. This is a sacred invitation. And before we get into it, I want to say this clearly. This message may touch on themes where there was distortion around intimacy, emotional safety, or early experiences that shaped how you relate to your body and your feelings. And I want to approach that with care. Nothing here is about labeling, diagnosing, or exposing. This is about recognizing. Because some of you, what you've been carrying didn't come from a lack of strength. It came from adapting to something you weren't meant to carry that early. Now, the energy coming through here is centered around someone who has had to internalize an experience that created confusion around intimacy, emotional expression, and the body. This feels like an individual who, at some point in their early development, was introduced to emotional or physical dynamics before they were fully equipped to understand or process them. And because of that, what I'm seeing here is a pattern of emotional suppression, self protection, and a kind of slow, careful navigation of life. Not because this person is weak, but because they had to learn how to survive something that reshaped their natural internal world. So, what may look like hesitation, what may look like guardedness, is actually intelligence, it's adaptation. But now, this energy is standing at a threshold where they're realizing that in order to experience real love, not just romantically, but within themselves, they have to move through what they've been holding. Not around it, not over it, but through it. And that's why the tone of this reading is what it is. Because this is not about exposing anyone. This is about honoring the moment where someone is ready. Ready to acknowledge, ready to feel, ready to reclaim their body, their emotions, their truth without distortion. So if you find that the synchronicities in this reading, the numbers, the timing, the message resonates with you, then this may be your confirmation that you are not behind. You are not broken. You are simply being invited into a deeper level of truth and co-creation with the divine. You don't have to force the process. You don't have to rush the healing. But you do have to be honest. Because this is not about revisiting the past to stay there. This is about understanding it so it no longer defines how you love. Let's tap in. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Bethany Alexandria. I am your host and reader, Delia. A warm welcome back to our new and returning viewers, and to our subscribers, a special shout out. Welcome to this blind reading. This reading may resonate with you if you have been seeing repeating numerical synchronicities of 444, 515, 616, 1144, 88, and 707. We will continue to note similar synchronicities as we move through the energies for this reading. The song message at your crown is Through the Fire by Shaka Khan. The initials K and or C may be important, as well as the name Khan. All right. Spirit guides, those inclined to unconditional love and divine service across all dimensions. We invoke your energies to be the forebearers of these messages. And for those For whom the resonance is highest, we ask that you clear away all static and energetic blockages so they will receive what they need to receive. Through the fire is about commitment, staying the course, going after what you really want. It's about unassuming love as well, or possibly a love that one party recognized from the rip. Someone here may be a surfer, you may be going on vacation, or you recently went. This is about being accepting of a certain level of value that we desire to acquire, and being prepared and accepting of what it takes to have and or to hold. Someone here may be thinking of marriage. We'll see what is in your energy. Spirit guides, who are we waiting for? Who are we reading? Who are we reading for? Someone here, maybe in leadership. Who are we reading for? We have masked realities, childhood wound, retrieve. Beyond posing facades and cover-ups, dare to unveil the truth hidden beneath your childhood wound. Your inner child is looking to heal so you can move on. By understanding it, the situation will take on a new light. So this is you going within to heal. I'm seeing frequencies, so you may be working with tones. There's also a call here for compassion as a means of therapy. Self-passion as a means of accessing healing. This is about empowering your inner child. An example of where you are right now. I will give you an example from the exterior view to help you understand what it is that you do to your energy when you resist, fight, or run away from healing your inner child. So say you're going about your life, and I am an individual in the real world, and I've taken a keen interest in you, but more on the negative side, and I've gone around and done everything because I don't like how you wear your hair to the side, or I don't know, maybe you don't have front teeth. People are weird, but for whatever reason, I've decided to take to task to pull you down and knock you off your square. And I'm creating a lot of fluff around you and walking around telling people all kinds of lies about you and being deceptive when you probably have never even said 2 words to me. And as you're moving through life, people start to whisper, word travels. Now there's this cloud of he said, she said, and now everyone's forgotten who you are. And this is what you do to yourself when you run away from the long-standing things that have kept you up at night, that keep you in a mental loop, possibly about things that have gone wrong in your life. The divine wants you to look at this. This is the place that you're sitting in at this moment. Mask realities. Unveil the truth in me. Tell us about this childhood wound. We have sex shop. So this is about sacred sexuality, sacred sexual identity as well. and how we go about negotiating our sexuality in life. What do we mean by this? Okay, so for example, some cultures, the womb carrying men are expected by culture to cover up, to conduct themselves in a certain way in relation to masculine energies, right? And so this is a part of negotiating access to what it means to be a woman, access to the things that a culture may consider um, to be worthy of remaining behind the veil, remaining sacred, remaining hidden. What I'm hearing coming through audibly here for you is that there may have been abuse in childhood. This abuse may have been around someone accessing your sexual vitality in a sneaky, deceptive, domineering way to knock you off kilter, to stunt your growth, to impede you. This may also have been conversations in your home dynamic that led you to being sexually confused. Sexual confusion comes about when you are uncomfortable in your own sexual behaviors. And that's all it is. Okay. Childhood retrieval sex shop. Spirit guides, for those who will resonate with this reading, who are still going through the fogginess of healing, we ask that a special vibrational current be invited into this space, that they aren't thrown off kilter or left feeling as though they are mishandled in the delivery of these messages. Thank you. Through the fire. Mm. Mm. Hmm. Let's see. I don't believe that we'll be moving into clarifiers. We're already 9 minutes in, but the energy here is really complex and requiring more time. Mm. Also, for some of you, you may have been exposed to things like pornography at a young age. Many of us are, for many reasons. And bless the divine and all that is. This is also a part of the plan. Even in situations when the introduction is heinous, irresponsible, hateful, 1155 coming through. Whether or not you are there, I, on your behalf, will hold the current that the divine is not remiss or missing, okay, in your experience. And so that's kind of the reason why I'm choosing not to rush, because I want to acknowledge the energetic call to treat this as very sacred and not transactional. Masking. Masked realities from childhood about how individuals connect for intimacy, possibly, the reasons why. What reasons did you learn in your childhood for why people connect with intimacy or connect through intimacy? What did you learn about making yourself available to others and vice versa? Let's see what's hidden here. If you are an adolescent, or even if you are an adult, but still in a place of heightened innocence, and you haven't really indulged much in the lower chakras, if you are being accessed or forced into giving access before you are ready, for sure, this will definitely create a masking over the truth. If you even are in a partnership and your partner is upset at you with no wiggle room or space for forgiveness, and they want to enter into intimacy with you as a means of punishing you, these things are all transactions that create energetic maskings over the truth of what things really could be. When someone fails to protect you, to protect your sacred sexual energy in childhood, it is impossible for it not to create a masking over your own sense of perception. Let's see what's hidden. We have Rose, financial relief, contentment, loving care in the reverse. This is an energy of mishandling that which is to be respected and protected. This is about accessing someone's sacred roads before the time, whether or not you're masculine or feminine. The masculine's sexuality is equally holy and sacred as the feminine. So whether or not you are masculine or feminine, stay with the message. This reading will be for you. Rose reversed, emotions in the reverse, in and out, clashing like waves. So in the background, you were accessed in childhood inappropriately. And on top of that, the emotional weight and the expectation that was placed upon you was one in which you couldn't speak on it. Whatever emotional turmoil or acting up you may have gone through, especially if there were others in the household that should have protected you, and even worse, if you spoke up and they neglected to protect you, these scenarios will for sure result in a lot of mayhem, lashing out, nightmares, inability to concentrate on your work. These things for sure will take you off your path. And this is why it is so important. When you have been injured, the name William may be important, the initials M may be significant. When you have been set upon by life and you find yourself with enough strength and mental clarity, it should be your mandate and your commitment to pursue the retrieval of the shattered parts of yourself. You should be in pursuit of this because this is important. Those reversed, emotions reversed, turtle in the upright, creating stagnation in your movement through life. I wish to lay something at your feet that may not be cushy. It may not even sit with you too well, but this wounding is ancestral with the turtle here. And there's also a message here about in good time. Don't allow the timing of your life to unravel without you giving yourself the things that you really need most, male or female. There is a certain tenderness that many of us have missed in relationships as we've come up in life. And nobody said that you ought to go through life without ever knowing this. 1202 coming through. Focus on your own long-term healing and growth. Where is this leading, Spirit guides? It is possible as well that you are wanting to move over, or realize success in a relationship. And this is the fire that you need to go through. The guides are still calling me to your crown song message, which is through the fire. And there's still a relationship here. However, while you are looking at something else, in the thickness of your own inner fire, this is what's walking with you in your energy. You have a childhood trauma around how you move with intimacy and accessing people. Maybe you have allowed yourself to be very open with sexual partners, and you're turning the corner and finding a certain value in self, in life, in others, in someone else. And it's pulling you to experience a shift. Why? Because the way how you've always been, it is going to interfere with the success of where you want to be. Your spirit guides are calling you to heal your perception around intimacy. Where is this leading, spirit guides? Already knowing the T in the challenge. So we're touching on something that you already know, but not fully accepting of it. There may be things also that you have yet to speak about. There may be an invitation here for you to dive into these shadowed waters. And if not to speak to another, but to allow yourself to speak on it in privacy. Where this is leading, spirit guys, already knowing the tea. I'm hearing from your guides that you weren't necessarily linking this to your prosperity and your progress in life, your ability to long-term plan. Okay, what's kind of knowing what's going on, but not really. We have watch also coming out in the crossings. We'll put them in the upright. So already knowing the T-ish kind of, sort of, and not really watching the clock, not seizing the moment. This is you being a bit unaware, a bit too laid back, I'm hearing, a bit too lackadaisical as well about your intentions around your healing. You may have sat out on things, waited longer than you should have. We have Earth sign in the reverse. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. You weren't tending to. You weren't tending to self. You may also have neglected tending to your own physical body. And this may have showed up in who, how, when, why, and under what circumstances you allow people to access you for transactional intimacy in the past. Spirit guides, your advice. Denial in the reversed. Own up to the truth. Burning evidence. This is a truth and or revelation that is so blatantly in your face. Your spirit guides are saying you'll be ridiculous if you think you're going to burrow your head in the sand. Something here about an ostrich may be important. Maybe someone is watching an advert or a documentary of some kind. Spirit's guidance, co-creation. Don't deny the truth. Look at it. A part of looking at this truth may require that you get rid of an ideology that you've held on to, a bank of knowledge, a certain behavioral trait or habit. Your spirit guides are saying own up to the truth and be okay with burning away whatever this is, because they want to co-create with you. Your spirit guides and guardians are here to assist you and to help you evolve into your authentic self. The time is now to see yourself as your spiritual team sees you. They ask that you remove all limiting thoughts and open yourself up to them. Meditation and asking for signs are a great way to deepen your connection. Many people carry hurt and trauma around sensuality, sexuality, intimacy, access, and it is time for us to roll up our sleeves and be more intentional about giving ourselves the fullness of the love that the divine wants us to experience. If you found this reading to be enlightening, revealing, or affirming of your experience, I invite you back for the next reading. Until next time, bye for now.